Dear Mr. Cameron, the flooding of Cockermouth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. For the attention of the Prime Minister, the truth, history has the truth. The sole purpose of this presentation is to show through written record and images taken before and after the Great Flood of November 2009 that an appropriate management of our rivers is required to minimise the risk of future flooding, whether caused naturally or as a consequence of human error. Both the county of Cumbria and the town of Cockermouth's problems are unique. Because of the town's location, Cockermouth is vulnerable to flooding and has a long history of river management. There have been various schemes to improve river flow, such as the necessary removal of obstructions left behind by previous industry requiring water power to drive the mills that were once a common sight, not only on the rivers Derwent and Cocker, but also along Tom Rudd and Bitter Beck. The River Cocker is one of the fastest rising rivers in England, and with the stronger Derwent slowing up the Cocker at its outflow, suspended material like the silt and gravel that continually flow down the fells soon builds to form the gravel shoals or cliffs that obstruct the free flow of floodwater during spells of prolonged rainfall. These spells of prolonged rainfall are the nature of things in Cumbria. Over the next few weeks, a personal survey is being carried out, and it is hoped that the results will convince our Prime Minister that the gem town of Cockermouth is entitled to a strategy of river management, rather than a strategy of risk, that must include the regular cleansing of our rivers and becks. An industry to preempt flood can then be created using in part the knowledge and expertise of our farming community, along with the Environment Agency in a supervisory capacity as main agents and paymaster. This can only complement any of the future flood defence schemes now subject to discussion, agreement, planning and funding. The past 40 years have shown that successive governments have all failed in recognising the need for the appropriate funding of the Environment Agency to function correctly. All party approval is attainable. The whole truth.
The Environment Agency is a statutory successor to the River Derwent Catchment Board and accepts that it should ensure that the works constructed in 1936-37 are maintained in good repair and condition.
And nothing but the truth? Environment Agency, news release for immediate release. Emergency works to reinstate flood protection. The Environment Agency is planning to carry out essential emergency works in the River Derwent in Cockermouth, Cumbria, to help protect local people against the risk of future flooding. Work will begin the week commencing Monday 22nd February 10 to remove thousands of cubic metres of gravel from the riverbed which was deposited as a result of the November 09 floods. Several rivers saw the highest water levels ever recorded during the unprecedented flooding. More than 800 properties were affected in the town of Cockermouth alone.
The Environment Agency routinely maintains gravel levels in Cockermouth and Keswick to ensure that the required level of flood prevention is maintained for local communities. A survey has confirmed that a substantial quantity of gravel between 8,000 and 10,000 cubic meters was deposited in the River Derwent above and below Goat Bridge, as well as in the River Cocker in town as a direct result of the November 09 floods.
The emergency work is essential to reinstate the previous level of flood protection to people's homes and businesses that existed before the flooding occurred. Taken in October 2008, a Google Earth image clearly shows the build-up, over many years, of gravel, silt and the wooded island, which appears contradictory to a news release from the Environment Agency. The gravel and wooded island situated along the River Derwent from Miller's Bridge to either side of Goat Bridge, comprising the 1936-37 Goat Bridge flood relief arches and flood relief channel. Approximately 350 metres in length, work to remove this long-established obstruction was started on February 22, 2010 by the Environment Agency. Excluding trees of up to 20 years' growth, the gravel removed is calculated as being between 8,000 and 10,000 cubic metres in quantity. Further earlier reference to the gravel and wooded islands is made by accessing the Google Earth image of December 2003. View through flood relief arches showing the build-up connecting to downstream gravel, silt and wooded island. Consolidated gravel, silt and vegetation to Cockermouth Memorial Gardens, immediately upstream and under Goat Bridge. Trees felled on the island downstream from Goat Bridge and within the flood relief channel. The following is a copy of a letter from Tony Cunningham MP to the Parliamentary Under Secretary of State for Natural Environment and Fisheries.
Dear Richard, following yesterday's debate in Westminster Hall, where I raised the issue of the maintenance of rivers, could you inform me of what plans are in place to regularly maintain the rivers Cocker and Derwent, given that the lack of maintenance was the contributory factor in the terrible floods that hit West Cumbria in November 2009? I welcome your comments and look forward to hearing from you in due course. Yours sincerely, Tony Cunningham, MP.
And in an extract from the 1933 Cumbria County Council minutes, recording the findings of the engineer employed by the predecessors of the Environment Agency, River Derwent Catchment Board, suggesting that the Goat Bridge was a contributory cause of periodic flooding to Cockermouth.
The findings of the report recommend that serious consideration be given to the provision of flood relief arches or opening, together with the cleansing of the accumulation of gravel near the bridge.
Taken after the November 2009 floods, this picture shows the remains of the gravel and wooded islands. And now in August 2011, showing the new build-up of gravel, silt and vegetation within months of the removal of thousands of tons of gravel, silt and the wooded island immediately downstream from Goat Bridge. In conclusion, by their statements and actions, the Environment Agency have clearly demonstrated that a pre-existing build-up of gravel over a period of many years was a contributory factor in the flooding of Cockermouth. As well as improved flood defences being built, what's required now is regular and frequent maintenance of those defences and the rivers that run through Cockermouth and beyond. The insurance industry can only act to provide competitive all risks cover for Cockermouth when the government recognises the needs of our town and enables a comprehensive programme of river management by the provision of appropriate funding for the Environment Agency. This movie has been produced to explore the truth surrounding the 2009 floods in Cockermouth. Too much rain? Poor river maintenance? Could more have been done to alleviate the flood risk?